Top of the morning, fight fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Terrence Crawford. Crawford states this: I feel like they're using Porter as a stepping stone, comparing me and Errol's performances against him. The good part about being able to easily make welterweight is that Terrence Crawford figured time was on his side to land a big fight. It took for a Shawn Porter to step up and accept the challenge to bring that vision to life for Crawford. With the two due to collide November 20th on ESPN Plus, pay-per-view from the Michelob Ultra Arena in Las Vegas, it wasn't the first choice of opponent for the switch-hitting, three-division, and reigning WBO welterweight titleist. In fact, it was the fight that the two friends outside the ring frequently discussed as a fail-safe in the event a bigger opportunity wasn't ready secured. A lack of feasible options left Crawford revisiting this fight, aiding the cause he believes is the willingness of premier boxing champions to deliver Porter as the first welterweight to cross the street. It comes after years of Crawford unsuccessfully securing fights with Keith Thurman, Errol Spence, and Danny Garcia, and other top welterweights under the PBC banner. Porter's reputation for taking on all comers makes him the perfect fit to test Crawford. It, if not serve as a gauge for how the unbeaten Omaha, Nebraska native would fare against the rest of the roster. He said, when Shawn called me about the fight in 2020, it was agreed upon by both of us that it would be on our terms. Crawford noted during a Zoom call media conference that he says, I feel like he got caught up in the media. Everyone saying, oh, you should fight Terrence. I feel like PBC were using him as a stepping stone to see how me and Shawn fight go, comparing me to Errol Spence's performance against him. At that time, I was already in talks with Manny Pacquiao to fight Manny Pacquiao. I told him that I got something on the table. If that fight doesn't happen, me and you can happen if that's what you really want to do. The Manny Pacquiao fight didn't happen, so here we are. Let me counterpunch. Obviously so, people are going to automatically compare these two together, okay? They're going to automatically compare these two together because we know Shawn Porter had one hell of a fight with Errol Spence, and we know that Shawn Porter should have one hell of a fight with Terrence Crawford. So I think at the end of the day, that's comparison by default. Okay, because people are going to compare that because that's the fight that we want to see. We didn't get the Manny Pacquiao, Terrence Crawford. We didn't get the Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. So this is the next best thing. Shawn Porter is one of those guys that you have to give him 100% credit by being that guy, because he did cross the street. And who invented the term cross the street anyway? It was Errol Spence. Errol Spence got caught up, I believe, in the PBC, Showtime, ESPN politics of networks instead of wanting to fight the best, okay? And he allowed Al Heyman to do exactly that by orchestrating his career as he seen fit, okay? And it will happen. Now, does that mean if Terrence Crawford goes in there and knocks out Shawn Porter, does that mean he's going to automatically do that to Errol Spence? No, it doesn't. But people do it by comparison. Why? Because Shawn Porter is the common denominator. Okay? You know, I mean, of course, people should have been looking at Kell Brook because Kell Brook fought the both guys. He fought Errol Spence and got chopped down in 10 rounds, and he got beat up badly and stopped in round 4 of Terrence Crawford's fight. So that's one. So this is the second person, guys. That's a common denominator between both fighters. Now, depending on how Errol Spence's eye heals, I think that would be the fight to happen. And depending on what Terrence Crawford does with Shawn Porter, that's all the difference in the world. But it's good that he did have a fail-safe plan to fight Shawn Porter because there was no other fight for him. We didn't want to see these new guys that are just pulling out of hats. We don't want to see them anymore. He has stopped 5 of these opponents in the welterweight division. Okay, so the last thing people want to say now is Terrence Crawford's too small. Terrence Crawford's not the right size. You want and need to respect him as an acclimated welterweight, and this guy should do and put in work with Shawn Porter, and then vice versa. However, I do feel that Shawn Porter got the best of him in a press conference, but who can't out-talk Terrence Crawford, the silent killer? Counterpunch. So I think at the end of the day, Crawford, he's not a big talker. He never will be. And if you think about it, and if he started being a big talker, you know that wouldn't be him. Okay. But they are using Porter as a stepping stone, and they're going to compare him to Errol Spence's victory. So he better make it a damn good one if he's going to be victorious. That's my counterpunch on that. You guys tell me what you think about Terrence Crawford's comments toward Shawn Porter. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.